Alrighty, hello, I'm Dalton Rancho from South Dearborn High School. I'm a senior, and today I'll be presenting the Guardian. The idea of the Guardian is a carbon steel security device that will stop an intruder from breaching the threshold of a classroom. This easy device will use to act as like a defense against the student body and the intruder. The Guardian is a high quality steel, so it's barrier that is equipped with a strong lock and hinge. This device will use a quick latching system that is installed and really easy to access in case of an emergency. In this picture it shows an average classroom door. This is actually my English classroom door. At points 1 and 2, this will be where the quick latching systems would be secured into 2 studs, right here and right here, and then at point 3 there will be a strong piano hinge that allows the swinging arm barrier to open from the closed position, would be a storage position behind the door. In the case of emergency, the door would be shut. The door would be swung, the swinging arm would be swung shut to point 1, which would secure the door. And in the picture you can see that one bar would be above and one bar would be below the handle, so even if the door is not locked, it wouldn't allow the handle to move up and down, securing the door. The business model: there are more school shootings now than ever before. The main purpose of the Defender, or the Guardian, is to protect from school shootings, but it can also be used in other places such as government buildings, post offices, mental health, banks, public buildings such as shops and stores, and military such as bases and military offices. Our main customer are going to be all school administrations across the country and any persons that are in need of a security device. But we're going to pinpoint on state superintendents such as the Indiana Department of Education, Glenda Ritz, Ohio Department of Education, Deborah Tehar and Richard A. Ross, and Kentucky Department of Education, Shada Ritter. In addition to this, we are going to pitch ads to school boards and other safety to connect with training organizations such as the ALICE program and the PTA. The ALICE program is a shooting protection agency that's going around right now, mostly in Indiana. It shows kids how to stick together and secure doors, and in their videos they show to ropes or belts to hold the door shut, and the Guardian would be an easier and more efficient way of doing that. Our main competition is the Fighting Chance company, which their product is the sleeve. It's a 12-gauge carbon steel sleeve that accessed by the student or teacher in the case of emergency. It sells for about $65 right now, and it's carbon steel, and it slides over the closure arm that's in the top right-hand corner of the door. And as you can see in the picture, this is my classroom, and it doesn't have that. And then our other competition is the common bolt locking system, which is secured by one stud in the door, which is main school doors right now. And then the Guardian is fast and installed before the emergency, so it's going to be already installed, and it's stabilized by 2 wall studs, making the device unbreachable by an intruder. So it takes less than 3 seconds to latch to, swing it shut, and secure the door. And it's really easy to access, and it can be accessed by and used by younger students, even kindergartners. There has been over 40 school shootings since December of 2012, so school shootings in the U.S. are on the rise. The Guardian will guarantee the protection of students and faculty need during a security breach, potentially saving innocent lives. One of the main school shootings that's happened recently is the Sandy Hook, Oregon High School. You guys probably heard of it. The first officer arrived on the scene on Sandy Hook School, shooting 2 minutes and 41 seconds after the first police radio broadcast. In that 2 minutes and 41 seconds, 20 students ages 6 and 7 and 6 adults were killed. In that short period of time, 2 minutes and 41 seconds. If the Guardian takes less than 3 seconds to shut, and in school shootings, the intruder is not going to stay at each door. They're going to stay at the door for a short period of time. So if it only has to hold for 2 minutes and 41 seconds, that's very good. Our sales approach: the majority of the customers of the Guardian can be reached by phone, direct mailing, advertising brochures, radio ads, and promotional conferences. We would reach customers that are farther away through an online website that offers online ordering. The inner working: the staff to begin the business would be myself, Dalton Rancho, the business investor, which is Vail Pest Management, and a product company. And the location: the central office would be held at 12665 Roman Drive in Dearborn, Indiana, which is my home. The materials, production items, and needed assembly would be the carbon steel and the latching system. And the time the staff would be required to work Monday through Saturday from 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. The management team, as I said before, me, Dalton Rancho would be the CEO, would make all major business decisions. We would get a business accountant or a financial specialist who would assist in organizing and analysis on monetary business expenses. And then our business investor, Avail Pessimist, would oversee sales, marketing due to their own successful marketing experiences. The money forecast, I would require $3,000 for the initial cost to start the business. $500 would be for the company to make the first perfected product, such as the mold, and then mass production would greatly reduce that price. Another $1,000 would be for advertising, such as the brochures and ads, and then $1,500 for others, such as accounting costs, office materials, transport expense, etc. In Indiana public schools, there are 2,024 Indiana public schools, and at an average, there's about 100 classroom doors in each school. If the device sold for $54.99, that would be $11,129,976. And if the mass production, it cost us $18 a piece to produce, that would be $3,643,200, which would be a net profit of $7,486,776. The next steps for short term, I would want, next 90 days, I would want to produce a working prototype, finish the business plan, and start advertising the product by January 2015. Long term, I want to produce enough units to fill all Indiana schools, protect students from school shootings through the use of my product, and to expand the Guardian to all schools throughout the nation. And that's it. You guys have any questions?
Have you looked at, I mean, obviously you've checked it that it works well with that door style, but, you know, just knowing the different schools and everything, I mean, how, from a retrofit standpoint, can you make it fit? Like, you know, not all doors have that, you know, that latch on them. Okay, so it is something that could be retrofitted to make that fit.
We can change the sizes and how wide the bars are apart and stuff like that for different door sizes.
Okay.
Anything else?
Have you thought about anything to prevent it from being used? Say a student wants to lock himself inside a room with the gun, without the teacher in there. Now he's got a captive audience. How easy is it to undo from the inside and get back out?
From the inside, it's the same as unlocking and swinging it. So all you'd have to do from the inside is lift up the quick latching system and swing it back open. So it'd be really easy for the student to be in, but if there was someone outside the classroom trying to get in, it would be pretty much impossible.
I know, did that door in your picture have a window with the wired glass? It did.
This one, yeah.
Yeah, so what's to prevent someone from pushing through that window and reaching up to grab the latch?
There's devices in our school already that hang above the door, that fall down, that cover up the window. So I don't know if there could be a product that would go along with this, or we could design another product to go along with this that could fall down and lock, so that even if they did break the window, they couldn't get in.
There's a similar device I know that Princeton high schools use, and I didn't see their brand name in your competition list, but it actually mounts to the floor and above the door, and it's basically two vertical pins, one that goes into a flush fitting in the floor and another one that goes into a reinforced thing up above. And in that instance, unless you have exceptionally long arms, you cannot bust through that glass and reach up or down enough to get.
But how do they lock it? How fast does it take to lock it?
You literally step on it with one foot and push it up with one hand. There's no swinging anything out. There's no hinge. It's literally just a double shear connection. Basically, you would do this, push up and step down.
The only good thing about the Guardian is it's so low that if kindergartners or something, it's really easy for them to access. For that, I'm not sure how easy it would be for
well,
young
you could get 50% of it locked
Yeah.
at the bottom. So, but anyway, just
Alright,
making you aware.
thank you.
So what would the, what would the school have to do from a fitting perspective, like explain, like walk me through like the mounting of that, like what else?
Installation costs
Yeah,
or
yeah,
whatever.
exactly. What's the school looking at, do you think, from an installation cost? Like what are they gonna have to do to retrofit that to make it, you know, fit on the door?
For the Guardian, it's actually really easy. You'd order it to size. You would have your quick latching systems, which would just mount into your studs of your wall, so they'd just be screwed into the stud of the wall and then the other adjacent wall. And then for the piano hinge, that would be the same thing. It'd just be mounted into two studs that are in the wall. And then that's pretty much it.
What about those concrete, what about because I know a lot of the schools have cement block walls, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. I mean, what about the same thing, just, still
Yeah,
mountable with like cement screws or?
Yeah, they would just mount it with cement
Okay.
screws.
Do you have a prototype? Have you built one?
We're in the process of building one. I have all the stuff to make one, and we're having a welder weld it together for us right now.
Okay.
I should have one by the next interview. So,
Why did you come up with this? What's your background or your interest?
the interest was the fear because everybody, the new ALICE program's coming out, and everybody in my school is like getting scared because of the school shootings on the rise. So I was just thinking of a good product that would be used to protect our students. Since I'm a senior and I'm gonna go off to college, hopefully to IU or Xavier. So I was just thinking of a nice product that would protect our students.
Do you know if the other manufacturers actually offer installation?
To the sleeve, I am not sure. I think they just send it to you because it's just a product that's on a teacher's desk. So in the case of emergency, they'll grab it somewhere where it's in the classroom. So it takes them time to get it and install it because it slides over the closure arm.
Yeah, there's,
It's
The
just
automatic closure things with the little arm,
So that it
in a
can't-
little
so it doesn't-
spring-loaded box.
Right, it
Okay.
can't
Like going over your
open,
elbow,
right,
so you
right,
can't-
can't do this, yeah.
but I haven't seen that other one. Does that attach to the door, I guess?
Princeton High School up in Cincinnati just put it in, and I wanna say it's like Grizzly Bear or something is what the trade name of it is. If you Google Princeton High School, I'm sure it'll come up.
Yeah, I will.
Cause it was a big deal that they just installed it, and with their student body, they're probably likely to have a shooting anytime now.
Really?
And I don't know if there's a way that you can make that so it latches and it's, you know, difficult to get through a glass window or, you know, somehow get that open or make it more difficult to get it open from that side.
yeah.
You're probably not gonna make anything totally foolproof, but the point is
The
you make it to where it's the more time they spend fiddling with that door, the less time they're spending shooting
Yeah,
somebody.
like that's the Sandy Hook at 2 minutes and 41 seconds. The police were on the scene. So
So,
anything else?
your design relies somewhat on the structure of the door to be fairly sturdy. You're basically bracing the door. Haven't been through every school. I'm assuming most of those commercial doors are fairly stout.
Yeah.
You know, if you have some interior office doors, obviously that not like this, but some hollow metal or some hollow core wood doors would be kind of like putting a padlock on a paper clip.
Yeah, with school doors, they're pretty sturdy, and then on the outside of the doors, there's two thick 2x4 studs on each side. That's what would be mounted in, so it'd be pretty sturdy.
So there's a clasp on the one side and there's a clasp on the,
Adjacent wall, yeah. So that when it's not in an emergency position, it's behind the door, so the door can still be opened, and it's in a storage position. It's like not in the way of anything.
I mean, the one thing I do like that, you know, to your point, is the fact that, I mean, the possibility does exist that, you know, the teacher may not be in the room when it started to happen, and even if it's a smaller child, if they're, you know, again, it's the heat of battle, and, you know, who knows what they're gonna do, but, yeah, they can reach it to swing it closed, so.
That and time's a factor because as you see in the Sandy Hook, it's 2 minutes and 41 seconds. So time's definitely a factor, and the fact that it only takes 3 seconds to close and secure a door is
Right,
the great thing about it.
yeah. Well, and the thing is, they wouldn't think to lock the door, you know, that's just it, they would just think to slam the door, but then if that goes there too, like you said, that's gonna keep that door from, yeah.
Yeah, secures
Yeah.
the handle.
Does the mechanism close automatically when you shut it, or do you have to manipulate the mechanism itself, or have you worked that out?
Yeah, it's a quick latching system, so it's like any gate, you just swing it, and it latches, and you can't pull it back in, so it latch by itself.
Okay, but then you have to manipulate something to actually unlatch it.
Yeah,
And how do they get out again?
to get out,
Mhm.
it's the same thing as latch number 2. They just lift the latch and release, it just release it.
Okay.
How'd you come up with your $18 ultimate
Um,
cost for unit in production?
The Veil Pest Management is actually my father, and he's in the business, and we contacted a production company and told them the measurements about what measurements it's going to be and what it's out of, and that's the price that they said it would probably cost if you produced enough of them.
Anything else?
I think so.
All right. Super.
Very good.
Thank you.
Alrighty.
Thank you.